Did you know Greece has over 6,000 islands, but most travelers only ever visit 2? Santorini for the sunsets, Mykonos for the parties. But Greece isn't just sunsets in Santorini. It's pink sand beaches, underground lakes, and clifftop monasteries you didn't even know existed. So here's the real question. If you had only one trip to Greece, how do you decide where to go? Stick with me until the end, because I'll give you my answer. And I'll show you a route that blends the iconic with the secret. The islands. When people ask me, which Greek island should I visit? I always answer with another question. What do you want Greece to feel like? Do you want romance? Then go to Milos. Imagine Sarakiniko Beach, blinding white cliffs shaped by volcanoes, where the sea glows turquoise like a giant swimming pool from another planet. In the fishing village of Klima, I once watched the sunset from a boathouse balcony while locals grilled octopus right on the dock. Do you want glamour? Then yes, Mykonos is still unbeatable. But be ready, it's loud, it's crowded, and cocktails can cost more than dinner on other islands. Do you want a balance of trend and tradition? Try Poros. In Naousa, I sat at a cafe where chic travelers sipped espresso next to old fishermen mending their nets. It feels like Santorini before Instagram fame. And if you want everything at once, history, beaches, villages, go to Naxos. It's the largest Cycladic island and also the greenest. Driving through its mountain villages feels worlds away from the postcard Greece most people know. Every island has its own rhythm, and once you understand that, you stop asking which is best and start asking which one fits me. Crete. Now let's talk about Crete. It's so big it feels like a country of its own. Most tourists never leave the resorts, but the magic is inland. One afternoon, I drove into the mountains near Archanes, where the air smelled of thyme and pine. Old men sat in the village square, drinking reiki and playing cards. I ducked into a taverna called Tuspitiko, where the owner brought me plates of grilled lamb and wild greens I didn't even order. That's Crete. Food, hospitality, and traditions older than time. And if you love nature, Crete gives you 2 of Greece's greatest contrasts, the pink sands of Elafonisi, glowing like a watercolor painting, and the Samaria Gorge, a 16-kilometer hike through sheer cliffs where you share the trail with wild goats. Crete is both gentle and wild, depending on where you turn. The Ionian Islands. On Greece's western coast, the Ionian Islands feel different. They're greener, more relaxed, with Venetian-style towns. Lefkada's Porto Katsiki Beach is framed by cliffs so tall they swallow the horizon. Kefalonia hides the underground Melisani cave, where boats float across glowing turquoise water under a collapsed roof of stone. It feels like stepping into a myth. And then there's Corfu. Its old town is a maze of pastel houses, balconies draped in bougainvillea, and alleyways where laundry flutters above cobblestones. I remember sitting in Liston Square, sipping iced coffee while kids played soccer right under 400-year-old arches. If the Cyclades are dramatic, the Ionians are soothing. Hidden Greece. Of course, not everything in Greece is paradise. Take Navagio Beach on Zakynthos, the famous shipwreck beach. It looks perfect in photos. A white sand cove, a rusted shipwreck, cliffs towering above. But here's the honesty bomb. It's usually packed, drones buzz overhead, and that empty beach shot you see on Instagram. Almost impossible. Still, when I stood at the cliff viewpoint, watching sunlight hit the water, it was unforgettable. And then there's Poros, just an hour from Athens, but almost nobody goes. I spent 2 full weeks there a few years back. I rented a scooter and drove all around the island. It's maybe not a place you go for the beaches, but I found it was good for snorkeling. Wandering along the harbour, I recommend you stop at the Oasis Taverna for grilled sardines or other seafood. By night, Athenians arrived on ferries, filling the bars with music and laughter. Poros proves you don't always need to fly or ferry for hours to find something special. If you want a full video on Poros, let me know in the comments. Mainland wonders. Leave the islands behind and Greece keeps surprising. The most surreal place I've ever seen isn't by the sea at all. It's Meteora. Monasteries sit perched on giant rock pillars like castles in the sky. I woke up at sunrise in the town of Kalambaka, looked out my hotel window, and the mist curled around those cliffs like something from another world. Standing on the viewing platform, you can almost hear the silence the monks came for. Further south, the Peloponnese is a road trip dream. Olive groves stretch for miles, castles rise above seaside towns, and ancient ruins like Mycenae whisper stories from 3,000 years ago. If you want a romantic stop, the town of Nafplio is pure magic. Neoclassical mansions, a seaside promenade, and a fortress lit golden at night. Few international travellers go, but Greeks themselves call it the country's most romantic town. Cities with a soul. No trip is complete without the cities. Athens can feel chaotic, but in the best way. In one day, I walked from the Acropolis down to the Plaka neighbourhood, where street musicians played bouzouki under balconies, and every corner smelled of souvlaki grilling. The mix of ancient and modern energy is electric. Further north, Thessaloniki is Greece's food capital. I tried bougatsa, a custard-filled pastry, at a bakery where locals argued over whose grandmother's recipe was better. At night, along the waterfront, tavernas served maize plates, olives, anchovies, fried zucchini, all paired with ouzo. Thessaloniki taught me that Greek food isn't just fuel, it's culture in edible form. And in Crete's city of Chania, the Venetian harbour glows with pink and yellow facades. Walking its cobbled alleys at dusk feels like stepping into a painting. Itineraries. So, how do you put all this together? If you've got 1 week, here's what I'd suggest. Start in Athens for history, ferry to Santorini for the sunset you've always dreamed of. Then finish in Crete, where beaches and mountains balance the picture. If you want island hopping, combine contrasts. Santorini for spectacle, Naxos for tradition, Paros for balance, and finish in Milos for romance. If you'd rather stay on the mainland, drive the Peloponnese loop, Nafplio, Mycenae, Epidaurus, and then Meteora. It's history, scenery, and soul all in one. And for slow travellers, skip the flights. Take the ferry from Athens to Santorini, watching the islands appear one by one on the horizon. That moment, leaning on the rail as the Aegean wind hits your face, feels like time travel. Like I said in the intro, Greece has over 6,000 islands, but only about 200 are inhabited. That means no matter how many times you visit, there will always be new corners of paradise waiting. So let me return to the question I asked at the start. If you had only one trip to Greece, how do you decide where to go? My answer is simple. Don't just follow the crowd. Yes, see Santorini if it's your dream, but mix it with something unexpected. Pair the famous with the hidden, the crowded with the quiet, the postcard with the authentic. Because Greece isn't just sunsets in Santorini, it's pink sand beaches in Crete, underground lakes in Kefalonia, and monasteries balanced on cliffs in Meteora. It's grilled octopus on a dock in Milos. It's wandering Nafplio's promenade at twilight. It's realizing that no matter how much you see, there's always another island, another village, another story waiting. So, which of these Greek experiences would you love to try first? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're planning a trip, subscribe for more guides to the world's most beautiful places. Until next time, keep exploring, keep dreaming, and keep discovering.